Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zaire, but you can call me Z. This is the second part of our English learning series. Today we will be talking and going over rhythm and stress. Rhythm is similar to intonation. So if you watched our last video, we went over intonation. Rhythm is very similar to intonation, but it's more of a stylistic approach. The same with stress. And if you notice the difference, I placed a lot of stress on the word stress. If I were to say rhythm and stress are important, it's kind of flat. There's not many rises or falls, versus rhythm and stress are very important. Some words and syllables are naturally stressed more than others. An example being the way that I just said, stressed. Notice the stress placed on the SS in stressed. Stressed. Okay. If you can master this, you can essentially master the language, communicate flawlessly. It will be undetectable to any native English speaker's ear because you would have mastered the rhythm, the musical ways in which we speak our language. This is something that can be learned. It requires a lot of practice. All right, so the first part that we're going to work on are syllable stress basics. Every word has a natural stress. For example, photograph, photograph, photo. And remember when I said in my last video, if you haven't seen it, I'll say it again. A lot of the T's in the middle of words in the English language, especially for the American accents, the T's sound like D's. So instead of saying photograph, we say photo, photograph, photograph, photograph. And notice the stress on each symbol or syllable. Photograph, photograph, photograph. You can still hear the stress in the word when I say it all together, but when I separate it, you can hear it more clearly. Photograph, photograph, photograph. Another word that has photograph in the base of it is photographer. Photographer. These sound very different. Photograph versus photographer. Photographer. The stress is placed on ta, and this time the T sound does sound like a T. Ta, 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 ta. Photographer. Photographer. Photograph. Photograph. Photographer. Photographer. So we stress the do in photograph and the ta in photographer. So the stress shifts to the second syllable in photographer, and the stress is on the first syllable in photograph, photograph, more than the do. Photograph. So again, like in most of my videos, I recommend you record yourself when you're practicing. I will say the word and then you will say it after, but record yourself, that way you can hear the difference and you can replay it, listen to you, and then listen to me, and then hear the difference, and then you can work on changing the differences to match it as closely as you can to me. Do this a few times. I recommend at least 3 times minimum, and rewind the video, that way you can go over the way I say it, and then you'll say it, and then you'll listen, and then do it again, and then again. I will read through each example slowly, sometimes breaking it up the way that I did with photograph, photographer, and then I'll say it in a natural pace, photograph, photographer, and you can practice both slowly and then at a natural pace. Always start slow before going fast, because it's harder to start fast and then go slow. Your brain is going to say, I already know what I'm saying, versus okay, I can add speed to this. So try that a few times and then you're good to go. All right, moving on to our next section. We're going to apply word stress in multiple syllable words. So stress can change meaning, like intonation can change meaning. Stress and where you place it on certain parts of the sentence or certain words within that sentence can change the meaning of what is being said. There are 2 words that are spelled the exact same but have two different meanings. So we have record, record. I'm recording a video. Record versus record, record, which is what we listen to music on. It's a big, if you're not familiar, it's a big disc, and you can play it on a record player. But the words are both spelled the same, record and record, but they sound differently. And you can hear and see the difference in where we place the stress. With record, I'm placing a lot of stress on record versus record. I'm placing more stress on the ending of the word curd, record. Together, record, record. So notice the difference. Another one, these words mean the same thing. I'm just going to say it differently. Increase, increase versus increase, 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 increase. So this would be changed, or the way in which I would say this would change depending on what I'm saying or the message that I'm relaying. So for the first one, increase, I would use this, let's say, for temperature. There's been an increase in heat the past few days. I'm stressing in because I'm letting you know it's already been hot, but now it's hotter. There's been an increase in heat for the past few days. I'm placing a lot of stress because this is like a warning. There's been an increase in heat for the past few days versus increase. It would be good if the weather increased in temperature, meaning it's cold, so it would be beneficial if it got warmer. If it would increase. So again, it's a stylistic approach. There's a difference between record and record, as well as increase and increase in terms of noun versus verb. So record, the thing that we play the music on, is a noun, it's a thing, versus record is an action, so it's a verb. I'm recording myself. The same with increase. We can say there's been an increase as of late, meaning there's been a change in amount. So that would be a noun. Versus the weather increased, that's a verb. The weather's changing, meaning the weather is getting hotter. So there's an increase. Okay, the next section that we're going to work on are sentence stress patterns. In English, content words are stressed. For example, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Function words, for example, a, the, is, and to are usually unstressed. I'm going to give the sentence. I love. Notice I'm stressing. I love reading books in the evening. I'm stressing the person we're speaking about, I. The feeling, love. What are we talking about? Books. So we're going to stress books. And what time of the day? Evening. I love reading books in the evening. Versus, if I were to just read this flat, I love reading books in the evening. I love reading books in the evening. No stress, no rhythm, just flat. I love reading books in the evening. Versus, I love reading books in the evening. Next, we're going to practice some rhythm together. I want you to practice the one that we just did. Remember to record yourself, rewind. Now we're going to move on to the next example. So when you're ready, if not, press pause and then press play when you're ready. The first one that we're going to do, she bought a new car yesterday. She bought a new car yesterday. So who? She. What did she do? She bought, the action. What did she buy? A car. You could also stress new if you want, because we would stress old if we want to be more descriptive. She bought a new car yesterday. Yesterday, when did it happen? Yesterday. So we can stress that, but you don't have to. I personally would say, she bought a new car yesterday. She bought a new car yesterday. I'm stressing bought and car and yesterday more so versus she bought a new car yesterday. She bought a new car yesterday. Whereas that, I'm also stressing bought and car, but also she. So again, it goes into your personal style and what sounds best to you or what feels more comfortable or natural. But yeah, practice that, play around with it. Again, there's no wrong way to say this. It's just to apply the stresses where they seem more natural to you. But again, remembering function words are usually not stress, such as a, the, is, and to. So when reading sentences or speaking, we are not placing that much stress on a, the, is, or to, but we are placing a lot of stress on nouns, verbs, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So the descriptive part of what it is that we're saying. Another example before we move on to the next section. We're. Who? We. And then we're because we are. The action is connected to who we're speaking about. We're going to the park. Where? The park. After school. And notice I'm also placing stress on after because it's a description for when, what time of the day that this is going to take place. We're going to the park after school. We're going to the park after school. Again, you could play around with the stress and say, we're going to the park after school. We're going to the park after school. So that's how you want it to be relayed, how you want it to be understood. But yes, have fun with it. Remember to record yourself, play it back and forth, listen to me, rewind, listen to you, correct. It's the best way to go about learning this. Take your time. So I read, she bought a new car yesterday. We're going to the park after school. And then apply a normal pace once you feel comfortable enough. She bought a new car yesterday. We're going to the park after school. So yeah, again, have fun with it. This is an environment where you should feel very comfortable, not stressed, not anxious. There are no mistakes that you can really make. The main thing is just to practice and change what you're hearing that you don't like to sound more like what you would want to sound like. So be very gentle with yourself and take your time. Take your time with it. So we're going into the common mistakes section of the video. Many learners stress every word equally, which can lead their sentences to sounding very flat. So I'm going to read that using the mistakes that people make. Many learners stress every word equally. I applied no stress, or I applied the same amount of lack of stress to each word. So it just sounded very flat versus many learners stress every word equally. Notice the difference. I applied stress versus no stress. Many learners stress every word equally. Many learners stress every word equally. No stress. It sounds very flat, very boring. I'm disengaged as a listener because you just sound like this versus many learners stress every word differently or equally. I'm speaking to you guys while reading. But yes, this makes speech sound unnatural. It leaves people disengaged, not following what it is that you're saying. So focus on natural beats, letting some words fade while others pop. Pop, literally, pop. As you can probably tell, I'm stressing and playing with the rhythm as I'm speaking with you, which is natural for many English speakers. And the more practice that you do within the language, the more this will come naturally. So again, make sure you're recording yourself. That way you can listen to the way that I'm speaking, and then you'll listen to the way that you're speaking and see the differences. Where is it that you're stressing words or not stressing, whereas I am and you're not? So pay attention to that and practice over and over and over again. And do not delete the recordings. That way you can see the progress that you've made by the end of this video, but then by the end of your English learning journey. So yes, a little mini practice round before we go. I can't believe it's already Monday. I can't believe it's already Monday. I'm placing stress on can't believe already Monday. Not stressed. I can't believe it's already Monday. Versus stressed. I can't believe it's already Monday. And you don't have to be as excited as I am. You could just say like, I can't believe it's already Monday. I can't believe it's already Monday. So you can say this in many different ways, different intonations, different rhythms. There's no wrong or right way. It's just whatever way comes natural for you. Next one. He always drinks coffee in the morning. It's a little loud. He always drinks coffee in the morning. No stress. He always drinks coffee in the morning. He always drinks coffee in the morning. Flat. He always drinks coffee in the morning. He always drinks coffee in the morning. He always drinks coffee in the morning. So different ways that you can say that. Again, it's whatever feels more natural to you. Play around with it. Have fun. Don't stress. Record though. I will always say this. Make sure you record, rewind, listen, adjust, make the changes that you want, re-record, listen, rewind, and continue on. Okay, so to wrap up this video and to give you guys a little bit of homework that you guys can practice on your own, you have your recordings, you have the practice examples that were presented throughout this video. I hope if it helps, maybe get a notebook and write down the examples that I provide with you, or I provide to you in the video. That way when you're listening to your recordings, you have them written out and you can practice some more. But for your homework, I want you to choose 5 sentences that you say often. This could be in your native language or when you're speaking in English. If you are using your native language, translate them to English. So create 5 sentences that you say often. Mark the words or the parts of the sentence that you naturally stress versus the words that you do not. And practice speaking with natural rhythm. So if you stress certain words more than others, maybe continue stressing those areas, or stress other parts of the sentence that you normally wouldn't stress, just to see the different ways that you could say the same sentence in many different rhythms, many different uses of intonation, many different placements of stress, to sound different, to make the meaning change in any way. But yes, record yourself, practice around with it. So today we've gone over stress and rhythm, a follow-up to the previous video of intonation. I hope you guys feel more comfortable and confident in the language. Okay, so that wraps up our video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. If you have any questions that I didn't go over, or just anything in general about the English language or what we did today, please do not hesitate to leave them down below. I'll be sure to respond to them. But yeah, don't forget to record when you practice, and practice as often as you can. What you put into it is what you'll get out of this. So I'm here to help you always, but I can help you but so much. You also have to help in terms of practicing. But I'll see you guys in our next lesson, in our next video. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.